Another change of scenery here. Try not to make these too boring. I'm sorry if they're boring, and this is the worst Christmas present ever. But this is also a depressing month, which is why I wrote it in black, which is why I'm wearing black. But I tried to add the Christmas tree to cheer it up a little bit. Mostly good, just the end of it was sad. So August comes around, and the theme of this month would be tried to be responsible, dot, 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 didn't work. And then also sad and mono. A lot happened this month. We tried to be responsible. We tried to get me home at decent times, but we also knew the summer was winding down and we didn't really care and we still stayed out way late. We still did stuff almost every single night, mostly. It was a good month. Let's see, very first. Don't judge my artistic rendition of this date. August 6th would be the night that we took pizzas here and threw them off the Burley Bridge here. I knew that's what you would think when you saw that picture. It obviously looks like that. I met you in Burley, I'm pretty sure, and you took us to Little Caesars Pizza to get some hot pizzas out of the dumpster at the end of the night. Super romantic. And we got there late enough that they were kind of gross, but we're like, let's throw them off the bridge. Of course, what normal people do. And so we took them, and as we were driving over the bridge, you fling them out, and the noise it made when it hit the water, it was just like slap. It was so funny. We were laughing so hard. We threw a couple in there. It was really fun. And then we went to Dairy Queen. Then we went back to the boat docks at said bridge and ate our blizzards underneath or on the docks. There was a few people there. I very distinctly recall you singing the song from Tangled, the one that's like, last I see the light. You were trying to get me to sing it with you, but I was like, no, I'm not going to sing. But you were laying your head right on my legs, and we were just messing around. That was a fun night. Next one, August 10th, the Shoshone Shake Shack. This was our Shoshone date. I don't remember what we decided, but we said, like, we need to go somewhere you've never been, Slade. And so I asked you if you'd been to the Shoshone Shack, and you said no, so we decided to make a date of it and go to Shoshone. We went to the Shake Shack, got their tater tots, some food. It wasn't as good as it used to be. I was severely disappointed, but it was also a lot cleaner. So I don't know what the trade-off is there. And then we went and walked around Shoshone. We went to the antique shop. You started to not feel good, so you went and took medicine. Then we walked and just were holding hands and looking in windows, shop windows. We looked at the old movie theater. And then we drove around and found some yard sales. Hit up some yard sales. We didn't find anything good. And then you're like, have you ever been to the Mammoth Caves? And I was like, And you're like, let's go. And so we did. We show up to the Mammoth Caves. We drive out in the middle of nowhere. It was so funny. That was the creepiest place I've ever been. And there was those peacocks with that awful outhouse, but you had to go to the bathroom. And we had to, like, psych you up out there. And then you go in there, and it was rancid. It smelled so bad in there, and it was hot. It was a hot, hot day. So gross. But you still use that bathroom, which I wouldn't have. I would have just gone right out in the woods or in the cave. That would have been a good idea. Then we paid to get into the caves, and there was that weird museum, that weird guy sitting there who hated his life. And we went through the caves, and I was terrified. I did not like the Mammoth Caves. And you kept turning off your light, and it was pitch black, and you kept trying to run away from me. And there was all those holes that I said crocodigators live in, because I'm pretty sure there was crocodigators there. And they were going to eat me. And it was really scary, but fun. And so we made it to the back of the cave, and it says, no people beyond this point. So what does Slade do? Slade goes over the rail and starts walking. And I was like, Slade, I don't think we're supposed to. He's like, if we weren't supposed to, they wouldn't have put the sign there. And I was like, Sign said no. Whatever. So we did. We kissed back there for a while. It was fun, dark. Hiked our way out, and then we went through the animal taxidermy museum. That was the weirdest place I've ever been in my life, probably to date. Definitely the weirdest place. It was so strange. And there was all those weird animals, and it was gross, and the taxidermy on the poor giraffe was just truly awful. But it was fun. It was crusty. When I got out of there, I felt like I needed to clean out my lungs. But it was fun. We had a really good time, and we just laughed. We spent a lot of time there. And then we decided to take the long way home, like we always do, and we went through Dietrich. And we stopped at the Shaw gas station, and we got Nutter Butters there. I don't know why you wanted Nutter Butters, but you did, so we got some. And on the way home, we stopped at the caves in Paul or Rupert or whatever, wherever they were at, and we went in those, and we found all of your old spray paint graffiti things. That was fun. Those caves were kind of freaky and cold, but fun still. I was afraid we were going to get lost in there, but you knew the way. We took Jessica out there, and that was kind of sketchy, but we made it. And that's all I remember from the Shoshone date. It was a fun. I think we did something that night, but I can't remember. So you'll have to fill me in. Oh, the 16th. Okay, I wrote 666. This was the night that you came. I think we were going to go to the rodeo, and so you came to my house to pick me up. And all of a sudden, you got so sick. You were like, it weird. You were shivering. You were uncontrollably shivering, but you were hot and so sick. And you were in this loopy, weird thing. I don't know. It was really funny. And so I told you that I would take you home, so we got in your car, and I drove you home, and on the way home, you started crying. I don't know why, but you were crying, and I looked over, and I was like, oh, you okay? And you're like, yeah. And then all of a sudden, you were okay. It was weird. You were in a weird mood. And then when we got to your house, you were wanting the orange stuff, which is the orange, like, children's cough syrup. You were dead set on having that stuff, and so your mom searched for it, and you want it so bad, and your dad was like, Slades, what's wrong with you? You're fine. And your mom's like, but Bart, he wants the orange stuff. And your dad was like, you're fine, Slade. And you were like, I want the orange stuff. And then I took you downstairs, and I tucked you in your bed, and before I left, you came over, and you like hugged my leg and fell asleep. That was cute. And then I got your allergy medicine, your Benadryl, and we put you to bed because you were so sick. So sick. Next. The rodeo. The 17th of August. I did not want you to go out this night. You were still so sick, but you were like, I'm going to the county fair. And you were dead set on going. So we went, and you looked cute. You got all cute cowboy, and we walked around. We got some food. We went to the art place where you made me stand and appreciate the art, which I just walked past very fast. But you made me stand there, and we appreciated the art, and you brought up some good points, so I now appreciate art more. And then, we saw some of your ex-girlfriends. We ran into Rosie. We ran into Erica Darrington. And I think there was one more that we ran into, so that was enlightening. And then after we were walking around, we went to the hypnotist show. My back hurt really bad, so we're like, let's go get some barbecue. We got barbecue, and then we saw Roxanne Beck and Dave and Susie, and they said they had extra tickets to the rodeo, and that was really nice of them, and we went and watched part of the rodeo. We walked out during the barrel racing because you said that was stupid, which I agree, so we did, and then we got back but missed the bull riding. Doing what we normally do because we went to see Lydia and get drinks from Lydia. And that's all I really remember from the rodeo. But you were starting to get super sick. And that was bad news because you had strep throat. Poor guy.